And their forecast today was the most aggressive preseason outlook that they have ever issued before. They're calling for 17 to 25 named storms. Out of those, 8 to 13 reaching hurricane status and 4 to 7 reaching major hurricane status. That is a huge uptick versus what is our climatological averages, which is 14 named storms, 7 hurricanes and 3 major hurricanes. Why? There's a couple of main factors. Number one, record warmth in the Atlantic Ocean basin. See, hurricanes get their fuel off of warm ocean waters, and they only need about 80-degree waters to form a tropical cyclone. But when we see really warm waters and depth of those warm waters, that can lead to more rapid intensification and tropical cyclone formation in general. We also look at what's happening to the ocean waters in the equatorial Pacific. This is how we determine if it's a La Nina or El Nino or ENSO neutral conditions. It's forecast to be La Nina, which is cooler than average temperatures there this summer during the peak of hurricane season. But what that translates to for the Atlantic is less wind shear. Wind shear is something that can tear apart tropical cyclones very easily. This is what a normal hurricane circulation looks like. But when you add that wind shear or changing of wind speeds with height, that can tear apart and disrupt storms and prevent storms from getting stronger or forming in the first place. So this is one of the houses where the National Weather Service is determining that max wind speed here with the tornado in Conyers. You can see behind me there's a huge tree that was uprooted by the ground, but also there's insulation that is strewn throughout all of these tree limbs and branches that were broken off. That insulation actually came from the upstairs of this house, which is on one side of this lake, this pond. You can see some siding has been torn off the side, and actually the entire roof, part of the roof, was torn off, and that tornado sheared all that insulation around. As we continue over to the house next door, they have a little bit of siding damage, but in the backyard, trees are just down left and right. Trees are not just down by the root system, but they're also snapped in half. And that's one of the things that can characterize a slightly stronger tornado. And we see that designation of pine trees snapped in half there on the other side of the lake, much further down. As we're tracking the plume, it actually behaves a little bit different at night than it does during the day, and that's because our atmosphere is different. I'm holding 2 different mason jars, a tall one and a short one. Both have lids. The plume can move within that mason jar, but can't go higher than the lid. Let me explain a little bit differently over here. During the day, we have the sun shining, we have the winds blowing, and we have that chemical plume that's able to disperse. The chemicals are not as densely packed outside over Conyers. But as we go through the night, things change. That boundary layer, that lid on our jar, it's going to lower overnight. So that's compressing all of the pollution, the plume in one place. And as the winds turn lighter, we see fog redeveloping right along the ground. And that's why the air quality near the center of the Biolab tends to be worse overnight. And that's why they've put these shelter-in-place orders in effect for the overnights through the end of the week. Now let's talk specifically about the wind gusts for tomorrow morning. Light winds are developing again right now, and tomorrow morning they're going to be very light. Out of the east, though, as we go throughout our Thursday, I'm expecting more of a southeasterly wind, so coming from the southeast, pushing towards the north and west, and those winds will pick up a little bit into the afternoon. So again, it's going to push that plume in the direction of the northwest, closer to DeKalb County, closer to Atlanta, and by Friday, it changes a little bit again. We'll talk about that part of the forecast coming up.
So earlier today, meteorologist Melissa Nord yelled, "We can see the northern lights." We all ran outside, and we could see it from Atlanta, Melissa.
Yeah, and I bet if you stepped outside right after this newscast, you might still be able to see them. We have been getting in dozens upon dozens of photos. This is Aurora Borealis of the northern lights. You might see hues of red, like in this photo from Taylor. You see a little bit of green on the right side of the screen. You might see some hues of purple or pink, and even a little bit of blue possible. But our 11 Alive storm trackers in the last hour are seeing those northern lights taking photos. You can take them with your iPhone and see it just fine. You'll be able to catch better photos with your iPhone than with the naked eye seeing them, but you'll be able to see those faint hues outside. Just beautiful. And if you watch this at 6 o'clock today, you may be wondering, okay, you said we probably wouldn't be able to see it. What ended up happening? Well, the Space Weather Prediction Center was forecasting this level 4 out of 5 geomagnetic storm to hit the Earth after several, we call them CMEs, come off the sun, but it actually exceeded the forecast. So we have observed the strongest solar storm since the Halloween storm of 2003. That was 21 years ago. So beautiful display of northern lights visible all the way down. I've seen photos from the Alabama coast, from Tybee Island, but also there are some impacts to satellite systems and radios and things like that as well. Luckily, cloud cover, storm chances cleared out, allowing us to see that. These storms are going to be on our doorstep. We still have one severe thunderstorm warning up in Rabun County. And as these storms press into the Atlanta area, regardless of getting a warning or not, they're still going to be intense. They're still going to bring heavy rainfall, lightning, and even a few gusty winds. And speaking of that, this is a live camera from up in Dahlonega, our University of North Georgia campus camera. And I've been watching this the last 5 minutes, seeing a lot of this. Look at that. Huge lightning strikes pushing in right there. That is not under a severe thunderstorm warning, but where we do have the warning, that is in downtown Clayton and Rabun County and that northwestern corner of Habersham County as well. That strong thunderstorm, which has the potential for 60-mile-per-hour winds, just about out of the state. As we go further down the line, there's all that lightning we're watching on that live camera in Dahlonega, where University of North Georgia's camera was. That heavy rain just now getting into Murrayville, so it's going to keep pushing east. Eventually, there's Lake Lanier right there, and that rain is on your doorstep.